In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Google Chrome browser and getting acquainted with its basic functions. So first things first, what is a browser? A browser is not the same thing as the internet, although many people conflate the two things. A browser is a program installed on your computer which changes this into this. Browsers are designed to handle a variety of different media types, like images, text, audio, and video, as well as other file types. Every download link is handled by the browser. Getting files from a website and either displaying it in the browser window or figuring out what to do with that file are the main roles of a web browser. There are many browsers available, but the most popular are Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer or Edge is the new version, and Firefox. There are some differences between these browsers, but their basic function is more or less the same. They grab an HTML file like the one I showed on screen before and turn it into a web page. You might be thinking, if all browsers do the same thing, why is it important to choose one or the other? Isn't Chrome or Firefox supposed to be better than the others? While it's true that all browsers perform the same basic task, there are features of each that work better or worse than their competitors. Right now, all the major browsers handle displaying web pages just a little differently from one to the other, which means that certain sites just work better on certain browsers. Other distinguishing features would be how fast a browser loads pages, how much system memory the browser uses, how prone to crashes it is, how it handles security, or the variety of add-ons available for that browser. These are all reasons why someone might choose one browser over another. Chrome is the most popular web browser at the moment for a number of reasons. Chrome displays the majority of web pages accurately, it's fairly quick, it handles crashes reasonably well, and it has a large library of add-ons available. It's also the default browser on Android-based smartphones, which make up a majority share of the smartphone market. And of course, Chrome is the browser installed on every Chromebook. So now that we've covered a little bit of the basics of web browsers in general, let's take a look at the features of Chrome and learn a little bit about how to use it. The icon that you're looking for is right here. It might show up differently on your taskbar. It might be pinned to a different spot. I've got a lot of things pinned on my taskbar, so the main important thing is that you're looking for this circle with the 4 different colors. You might also have a desktop shortcut. It would be the same thing except it would say Google Chrome underneath it. And you can also find it in the Start menu right under G. So I'll go ahead and open that up just by clicking on it from the taskbar or clicking on it from the start bar, the start menu. And if you click on a different icon like this one right here or this one right here, those won't be opening Chrome. Those are Firefox and Edge, respectively. So now that we've got Chrome open, we're going to take a look at the main parts of the Chrome browser. So the majority of the page is taken up by the display window. This is the portion of the browser where web pages and media are displayed. Above that, we have the Omnibar, which is often referred to as the address bar or search bar. In reality, the Omnibar accepts either web addresses or search terms. So when you type something in there, it'll give you a list of recommendations based off your browsing history and popular search terms. If you're ever asked to type in or copy an address, this is where you would do that. So for example, if I wanted to go to willistonschools.org, when I type out Williston, it's going to give me a few common search terms, and it's also going to give me wilsonschools.org because I've previously visited the website in the past. So if I even just click on that, it's going to take me directly to wilsonschools.org. On the left side of the Omnibar, there's a little padlock icon, or a eye and a circle icon with the word not secure under it. This shows whether or not the site is using a secure connection. If a site doesn't have a padlock, or if it says not secure like shown here, you should never type any private information into this web page. If you click on the padlock or the circle eye icon, Chrome will show you a couple options which deal with the page security, such as whether or not this site is allowed to view your location, access your microphone and camera, run scripts, which are little bits of code that can potentially do useful or harmful things, and some other options as well. Directly to the left of the Omnibar are the back, forward, and refresh buttons. Generally, these take you a page backwards or forwards, assuming that you've visited other pages in this tab recently. We'll get into tabbed browsing in a bit. And the refresh button will reload the page, which is useful if you need to see if something has been updated on the page, or if something on the page doesn't load properly the first time. On the right of the Omnibar is a little star icon. This is the bookmark button. If you click on this, it will create a bookmark for the current page, allowing you to return to the current page easily at a later date. To the right of the Omnibar, you may see a number of icons. These are add-ons, which we'll cover in the next video. At the end of this row of icons, there will be a logo that either looks like a simplified person, your initials, or a photo you've selected to represent your Google account. If you click on this icon, you'll either get options to sign into a Google account or options for managing your Google account. So while we're looking here, let's take a second to check and make sure you've signed into your wilsonschools.org account. If you haven't signed in before, please click the option to sign in and follow the instructions given. If you've signed into a personal account, which you can tell because it'll say what email address you have associated to your account here, you can click on Manage People and then click on Add Person. Give this new person a name and an icon and click Add. Now that you've got a new person associated with your Google Chrome browser, you will also have a new window show up. And this new window is one that you can link with your wilsonschools.org account by clicking on the person icon and then clicking Turn on Sync. Once you're in here, go ahead and type in your wilsonschools.org username and password and follow the instructions to sync your account to Google Chrome. Logging into your Google account with your wilsonschools.org account will automatically install several add-ons and will give you access to Cloud Sync for your bookmarks. This will allow you to access your bookmarks and add-ons at any computer that you log into your account with. By default, your bookmarks will be displayed in the Bookmarks bar, which is found directly below the Omnibar. You can show or hide the bookmark bar by pressing Ctrl-Shift-B or Command-Shift-B if you're a Mac user. And if you click on a bookmark, it will take you to that page. At the far left of the bookmarks bar, you'll see the Apps bookmark. This is a quick way to get to some of the Chrome apps you may have enabled on your account. Your app list is probably going to look different from mine, but the basics are there, like the G Suite apps, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Search, the Web Store, and YouTube. Above the Omnibar is the Tab bar. Tabs are a way of having several web pages open at the same time without having to open multiple windows of the same browser. You can open any link into a new tab by clicking it with your middle mouse button or by control-clicking on the link. Once you have multiple tabs open, you can switch between them by clicking on them. And you can reorganize your tabs at any time by clicking and dragging them to the left or to the right. You can close a tab at any time by either clicking the X on the tab or by middle clicking. You can also create new tabs at any time by clicking the plus icon to the right of the rightmost open tab. For particularly important tabs, you can right-click on the tab and select Pin Tab. This will remove the X from the tab and sort of shove it all the way to the right. It doesn't prevent you from closing the tab with a middle mouse button click, but it'll make accidentally closing the tab a little less likely. There are some other features and settings hidden to the right of the login icon, which you can see by clicking on the 3 vertical dots here. This is where you'll find your history, which shows you which pages you've recently visited, downloads, which will show you a list of downloads, bookmarks, which is where you'll find all of the bookmarks that don't fit on your bookmarks bar, as well as the bookmark manager, zoom, and full screen. To exit full screen view, you can either hit the F11 key on your keyboard, or you bring your mouse up here, and eventually the little X pops out, and you can click on that. Also in the More Tools area, you can find things like your extensions, which we'll cover again in the next video, and clear browsing data, which can be extremely important in troubleshooting where certain websites have trouble working properly. At any point you can clear your browsing data. You can go ahead and clear out these cookies and cached images and files and your browsing history, and that will often solve some issues that you have with signing in or out of different accounts. Of course, if you do this, you will lose any of your already signed in sites, so you're going to have to sign into everything again. So just be aware of that when you go in to clear your cookies. In the next video, we're going to be taking a deeper look at the extensions and actually showing you what they are, what they can do for you, how to add them and remove them, and manage them.